Former Laval Assistant City Manager Jean Roberge testifies at the Charbonneau Commission in 2013. Roberge worked closely with former Mayor Gilles Vaillancourt. Charbonneau Commission: take care of politics and politics will take care of you. That is an expression that always stuck with Jean Roberge, a man who worked both sides of Laval's system of collusion when it came to awarding construction and engineering contracts. Roberge, 58, the former head of an engineering firm who went on to work for the city of Laval, testified on Thursday at the jury trial of Antonio Accurso, the construction magnate who is accused of being part of the corrupt system. Roberge was the head of Equation Group Conseil, a company based in Laval, between 2002 and 2007. Before he took over the company, Roberge worked there as an engineering technician and said he was content in his work. After he took over, he had to meet with people to drum up contracts, and one person he met early on was Jean-Marc Melanson, a member of then Laval Mayor Gilles Vaillancourt's executive committee. He said that if I took care of politics, politics would take care of me. Roberge recalled of the meeting that earned him a subsequent meeting with Vaillancourt a month later. Roberge said he wanted his relatively small company to continue receiving contracts, worth between $25,000 to $150,000, as it had before he took over. Roberge said that, following the meetings with Melanson and Vaillancourt in 2002, he would receive phone calls from Claude Deguise, who was then the head of engineering for the city of Laval, informing him that his company would be awarded a contract. Deguise would also provide him with the name of another company that was considered for the work. Roberge said he knew that meant that, as part of his role in the collusion scheme, he was required to contact someone within the other company and arrange things. The other company would have to submit a bid for the work that was higher than ours, Roberge said. Most of Equation Group Conseil's revenue came from the private sector, but Laval was an important client, Roberge said of his motivation to play along. Roberge said he made donations to Vaillancourt's party and described how he once delivered an envelope with $10,000 inside it to the offices of Jean Gauthier, a notary who was always at Vaillancourt's side at political fundraisers. Roberge said that what stood out in his memory about the 2003 meeting was that it was held in a small office. He remains convinced Gauthier's actual office was elsewhere in the building. Roberge said Gauthier was also careful to not touch the envelope. Instead, he opened a drawer and motioned to Roberge to place it inside. Roberge said he met with Gauthier again a year or two later and handed him another envelope with between $6,000 and $8,000 inside it. It was a carbon copy of the first meeting, Roberge said in reference to how Gauthier received the envelope. Roberge also said it was standard for his firm to give bottles of wine and gift cards worth $100 to his clients at Christmas time. But between 2003 and 2006, he handed Deguise gift cards worth between $3,000 and $4,000. It was never cash. It had to be on gift cards, he said. It was Deguise who called us for invitations to place fixed bids, so he was important to us. Roberge told the jury he began to tire of the responsibilities involved in running a company and decided to leave in 2007. He said that months later, Gaëtan Turbide, then the Director General for the city of Laval, offered him a job. Deguise was about to stop working for the city, Roberge said, and Turbide offered him job even though he wasn't an actual engineer. He offered me the job because he trusted me, Roberge said. As his testimony continued, it became apparent that meant Turbide wanted him in the position to continue the system of collusion. Roberge said Vaillancourt ultimately decided Roberge couldn't hold the position, because he wasn't qualified, and he was hired as an assistant to a man who was qualified. Turbide told me, "I know there is a big difference in pay in being the head of engineering and being an assistant. Don't be concerned. You will be compensated," Roberts said, adding he was the person who took over de Guise's role in the scheme by calling companies to fix bids on contracts. PC Harry at postmedia.com related all right reserved for Montreal Gazette.